2 houses away, Nick tossed and turned in his sleep. Whenever he started to dream, he was repeatedly interrupted by mewing, the kind of sound a frightened lost kitten would make. When they met at school the next morning, the boys didn't say anything about their sleepless nights. They were too involved in making plans for the weekend and trying to find out more about the new girl in class. Later that day, Bill was setting the dinner table when he heard a meow. "I don't know where that cat is," he told his mother, "but when I find it, I'll..." "Here!" she screamed. "Get it out of here!" She hopped onto the kitchen chair and kept shrieking. Bill had never seen his mother so scared. "What is it, Mom?" He followed her gaze to the floor where a black snake was slithering across the kitchen. He shuddered at the sight because he hated snakes. "Get rid of it!" she cried. "Do something!" Bill grabbed a broom and shooed the non-poisonous reptile outside. As he watched it crawl away, he noticed it had teeth marks halfway between its head and tail, as if an animal had bitten it. "Where did that come from?" she asked. "I don't know. It had to come through an open door or basement window." "Well, I did have the door propped open for a bit while I was cleaning," she said. Neither felt like eating dinner that night. About the same time, Dave was home, stretched out on the floor, resting on a pillow and watching TV with his younger brother. "Hey, quit tickling me," Dave snapped at his brother. "I'm not touching you." "Then who's playing with my hair?" Dave sat up, turned around, and yelled, "Ah!" A rat, bleeding from its sides, was scurrying around the room. Meanwhile, Nick was home washing up for dinner. As he looked at himself in the bathroom mirror, he reached for a bar of soap, but what he felt wasn't soap. His hand jerked away and he let out a yelp. It was a dead bird, one with teeth marks on its back. "You won't believe what happened at our house," Bill told his buddies the next day. "There was a snake in our kitchen. We were just getting ready to eat when my mother started screaming and freaking out. She jumped up on the chair and wouldn't come down until I swept the snake out the door." "Yeah, well, guess what happened to me," said Dave. "I was lying on the floor watching TV and a rat starts picking at my hair. How's that for disgusting?" "Something funny's going on here," said Nick. "I found a dead bird in my bathroom sink." "You know what?" said Bill. "I think somebody's playing tricks on us." "Maybe you're right," Dave said. "Who have we ticked off lately? Who's sneaky enough to slip those animals in our houses?" "Well, what about Jeff Taft?" said Nick. "Bill, you really put him down the other day in front of all the cheerleaders." "Well, he had it coming," Bill said. "But Jeff wouldn't have gotten back at all 3 of us. Come on, think. Who would have done this to us?" "I don't know, but if I catch him, look out," said Dave. "Revenge will be so sweet." That evening, Bill was helping his mother put dinner on the table. As he carried a bowl of spaghetti, he felt something soft and furry brush up against his leg and snag his pants cuff. Bill tripped and belly flopped on the floor as the bowl flew through the air and smashed against the wall. As spaghetti sauce and noodles began sliding down the wall, his mother shouted, "William Thomas Hardy, how clumsy can you get? You've ruined our dinner." "I'm sorry, Mom, but something tripped me. I could swear it was a cat." "A cat? There's no cat around here. Do you see a cat?" "Well, no, but help me clean up this mess." Meanwhile, Dave was taking out the garbage. As he walked past a hedge toward the alley, he cried out in pain. 4 deep cuts, parallel and close to each other, began to bleed on his forearm. It looked as if something had raked across his skin, slicing it open. About an hour later, Nick was dozing on the couch when he awoke to a frightening sensation. He felt something furry covering his mouth and nose, and he couldn't breathe. Frantically, he tried to get the thing off his face, but there was nothing there. In desperation, he rolled off the couch and finally was able to breathe again. The next morning at school, before the first bell rang, Nick told his 2 buddies, "A lot of weird stuff has been happening, at least to me, and I've been doing some thinking. The other night, after the cat was killed, I kept hearing strange mewing sounds in my dreams." "I couldn't even get to sleep that night," said Bill. "There was a strange cat howling up a storm, and it sounded like it was inside my house. It sounded like it was inside the walls." "I kept hearing a cat hissing," added Dave. "Okay," said Nick, getting more excited. "I think we're on to something. The next day, what happens? Bill, a snake gets in your kitchen, Dave's got a rat playing in his hair, and I find a dead bird. Now what do they all have in common?" The boys gave him a blank stare. "Those are the kind of animals a cat brings into the house," he said. "Now that you mention it," said Dave, "the rat was bleeding." "The snake had bite marks on it," said Bill. "And so did the bird," declared Nick. "Oh man, this is getting too freaky," Dave said. "Follow me on this," said Nick. "Did anything strange happen to you last night, Bill?" "Yeah, my mom blew a gasket because I was carrying a bowl of spaghetti to the dinner table and tripped and the spaghetti went flying." His eyes grew wide. "You know, it felt like a cat."